At 7 o'clock in the morning, I posted a moments, showing the heart-warming scene of my husband washing diapers. 2 minutes later my mother-in-law's call came on time, her tone full of reproach. Ching Ching, didn't you hire a confinement nanny? Why is Xiaoyan washing diapers? How can a big man do such a job? I replied casually. Oh, I wasn't satisfied with the confinement nanny, so I fired her. My mother-in-law immediately started being sarcastic. Oh, but you were the one who insisted on hiring a confinement nanny in the first place. I sneered. Of course I had to hire one. After all, you go square, dancing every day and say you're not in good health, so you can't help take care of the baby. I didn't count on you to do a good job anyway. My mother-in-law continued to nag. Well, it's for the best that she's gone. There's no need to waste that money. A baby in the confinement period just eats and sleeps. You can definitely handle it alone. I retorted directly. Mom, what are you talking about? Of course it's your son who will take care of the baby. As soon as my mother-in-law heard this, her voice immediately rose an octave. That won't do. It's so hard. How can my son's body stand it? I counterattacked with her own words. How could it be hard? A baby in the confinement period just eats and sleeps. He can definitely handle it alone. My mother-in-law was left speechless. I added more pressure. Not only the baby, but he also has to take care of me. After washing the diapers, he went to make my confinement meals. I can't miss a single meal or snack. I'm breastfeeding, you know. My mother-in-law was completely defeated. After giving birth to the baby, due to the cesarean section incision, I was in so much pain that I couldn't sleep all night. During that time, I also experienced various problems such as breast engorgement, fever, wound infection and pelvic adhesion, which made me question life. And my mother-in-law, just because she saw my husband taking the baby to get vaccinated a few times, thought he was a hard-working and caring father. After we were discharged from the hospital, she directly went back to her hometown and posted that infuriating moments. What's more exasperating is that when I showed my husband my phone, he didn't take it seriously. Are you being too sensitive after giving birth? My mom was just too happy. She definitely didn't mean anything by it. I think you're making a big deal out of nothing. I was so angry that I laughed. Fine. Your mom didn't mean anything. Then you should do more work. Since she said you're hard-working, you should carry it through. On the same day, I fired the confinement nanny. My husband didn't understand at first and almost quarreled with me. But I paid for the confinement nanny, so I had the absolute right to decide. When the baby woke up and cried, my husband held and soothed it. When the baby peed or pooped, my husband changed the diaper and washed its bottom. When the baby was nursing or sleeping, my husband went to the kitchen to get busy. Thus, there was the scene I posted on Moments. After the phone call with my mother-in-law, she arrived that night with big and small bags. As soon as she entered the door, she pushed my husband, who was washing the pot, out of the kitchen. Oh son, you're breaking mom's heart. Stop washing. Mom will do it later. Look, your hands are all wrinkled from soaking. When I came out of the bedroom, she was taking things out of her luggage one by one. Son, here are the dried beans you like. They taste best when braised with spare ribs. This cured meat, when stir-fried with bamboo shoots. You loved it since you were a kid. And this, I specifically went to the mountains to buy this old hen this morning. You've been tired from taking care of the baby these days. You need to have a good tonic. Look at how tired you are. When mom is here, you can have a good rest. In short, not a single thing was for me the puerpera. My husband asked in surprise. Mom, are you planning to come and help take care of the baby? Weren't you not in good health? I didn't call you because I was afraid of tiring you out and making you sick. As soon as my mother-in-law heard this, she was so touched that she almost shed tears. Good boy, mom knows you're filial. But mom can't bear to see you so tired. In a few days you'll go back to work. Don't worry about the baby. My husband gave a forced smile and didn't respond. My mother-in-law still didn't know that her dear son had resigned out of guilt, because he had offended his boss and hadn't found a new job yet. To prevent my mother-in-law from worrying, my husband begged me not to tell his mother about this. My expression was sarcastic. It seemed that my mother-in-law noticed me at this time. She immediately changed to a condescending tone. Ching Ching, I'm going to be frank. Don't expect me to help you take care of the baby all the time. I'll only do it until you finish the confinement period. I raised my eyebrows, because after the confinement period, the puerpera can do the work, right? My husband nodded in agreement. My mom has a bad back. Don't always ask her to hold the baby. And things like changing the baby's diaper and washing its bottom, she can't do them either. Oh, so she came not to help take care of the baby after all. Then what's she trying to show off for? My husband's attitude made me even more disappointed in him. He, an unemployed person staying at home, didn't show good behavior to take care of his wife who had just had an operation. but only knew how to feel sorry for his energetic mother. Indeed, only after having a baby can you tell whether the person you married is a decent person or not. I was heartbroken, but I didn't show it. I said calmly, "It's okay, Mom. I also don't want to tire you out. If you really feel it's too much trouble, I'll buy you a ticket to go back in a couple of days." My eyes fell on my husband and I added, "Anyway, I'm not alone here." My mother-in-law couldn't stand this. She glared at me and was about to argue with me. My husband stopped her. The two of them went into the bedroom and were still whispering something. "She's being too picky." Back in our days, we cooked our own meals even before the confinement period was over. How could we let a grown man do such things? "Don't worry, now that Mom is here, I'll make sure to keep everything in order this month." I narrowed my eyes. It's still uncertain who will be kept in line with whom. The two of them came out of the bedroom, both with changed expressions. My husband went to the master bedroom to check on the baby, and my mother-in-law sat on the sofa. "The baby is so small now. It must wake up several times at night to nurse, right?" "Yes. Then neither you nor Xiaolin can get a good sleep, right?" My mother-in-law started to fake a smile. "I think it's better if you and Xiaolin sleep separately. After all, someone has to be tired. There's no need for both of you to lose sleep. When the baby gets a bit older, stops nursing at night, and can sleep through the night, you two can sleep together again." So she was feeling sorry for her son, having to get up in the middle of the night. I asked, "Is this Xiaolin's idea too?" My mother-in-law nodded. "She snores and tosses and turns beside you. It also affects you and the baby, doesn't it?" My eyes darkened. They actually thought it was okay for a woman who had just had an operation to get up in the middle of the night, nurse the baby, soothe it to sleep, and change its diaper all alone. If I were a more docile woman, I could only feel wronged and hold it in. But unfortunately, I'm not one to be bullied. My eyes lit up, and I showed a delighted expression. "Mom, you really think so? Then it's settled. I'll sleep separately from shall we?" My mother-in-law was a bit surprised by my quick response. She smiled, probably very proud that her words were so effective. Her mouth almost reached her ears. She pretended to be magnanimous and said, "Then shall we sleep in the second bedroom? That boy, you sleep in the master bedroom. For the sake of his wife and child, a young man can endure a bit of hardship." Such high-sounding words made me almost vomit. Whether her son would really be wrong sleeping alone in the second bedroom, everyone knew well. I shook my head repeatedly. "That won't do. How can Xiaolin and the baby sleep in the small bed in the second bedroom? I'll go sleep in the second bedroom." My mother-in-law was a bit slow to react. While she was still in a daze, I quickly ran to the master bedroom, grabbed my quilt, pillow, and some other personal items, and moved them all into the small bedroom. "Mom, the baby has just been fed. Let Xiaolin bring the baby to me when it needs to nurse at night." Then while my mother-in-law and husband were dumbfounded, I slammed the door shut, a seamless move. By the time my mother-in-law came to her senses, I had already locked the door and was lying in bed comfortably. "Hey, that's not what I meant. Come out first. You misunderstood me. How can a big man like Xiaolin take care of the baby while sleeping? What a load of nonsense. What's wrong with a big man? Except for nursing, there's nothing a mother can do that a man can't." Since getting married, my mother-in-law and I haven't been very close. I didn't care. We just maintained a superficial peace and courtesy. But now that I've given birth to a baby and am in the most need of family care, at this crucial moment, she only thought about whether her son was suffering or tired. It was really going too far. My mother-in-law's raucous voice made the baby outside cry loudly. I heard my husband say, "Keep your voice down. The baby is crying. Didn't you say you just fed it? It can't be hungry, right?" "I don't know. Usually, when the baby cries, Ching soothes it gently." "Fine. The baby is crying. I don't believe she won't come out." My mother-in-law's voice suddenly dropped. "Son, later you tell your wife that you can't take care of the baby at night. It's easy to starve or freeze the baby. Once she feels sorry for the baby, she'll still have to take care of the baby while sleeping. I'm telling you, no mother can bear not to do that. Is this okay?" "What's not okay? She's the baby's mother. She should be with the baby 24 hours a day." Because the house was small, I heard every word clearly in the bedroom. I silently rolled my eyes and raised my voice. "The baby is just sleepy. Hurry up and soothe it to sleep. I'm sleepy too and going to sleep first." The two outside stopped talking. Trying to manipulate me with the baby. They were wrong, completely wrong. As long as I'm tough-hearted, no one can use the baby to tie me down. Moreover, I knew that my mother-in-law was just talking. How could she bear to let her precious grandson in the Chen family suffer? After all, she was feeling sorry for her son being tired. In the evening, the baby slept with my mother-in-law. I didn't care. Anyway, don't expect me to endure all the hardships alone. It should be shared. My husband was snoring loudly in the next room. In the middle of the night, when my mother-in-law came to me with the baby for nursing, she had a sullen face and resentful eyes, looking like a vengeful ghost. I said considerately, "Mom, why do you bother? Let Xiaolin take care of the baby while sleeping." My mother-in-law didn't respond. As the baby was nursing in my arms, my mother-in-law used her signature fake smile and said to me, Ching, it's really inconvenient for the baby to nurse at night without its mother by its side. It's better to let the baby sleep beside you." Then, without giving me a chance to reply, She turned around and left. I heard a click. She locked the door on her side in the same way. I curved my lips unhurried. After the baby finished nursing, I pushed open the door of the master bedroom. I first gently placed the baby on the bed, then slapped my sleeping husband awake. My husband was sleepy, his eyes half closed. Before I could say anything, my mother-in-law suddenly rushed in from outside. She pushed my husband, who had just sat up, back down. "Shall we go back to sleep?" My mother-in-law picked up the baby. As she passed by me, she seemed to want to say something but held back. I had a faint smile on my lips and didn't say anything either. In the morning I woke up refreshed. My mother-in-law had already prepared breakfast. It was quite sumptuous, actually. Just as I was about to start eating, she pushed the dishes on the table a little further away. "Ching ching, a puerpera shouldn't eat greasy and fatty foods. It's not good for lactation." Then she handed me a large bowl of something dark. "Drink this. This is a special lactation promoting recipe I got from someone. I cooked it for 2 hours. There are all kinds of herbs I don't even know the names of floating in the bowl. And some mushy things that look like vomit, with a pungent smell. Even a pig which enchi it." I couldn't help but gag. "Mom, I won't drink this." "How can you not drink it? If your milk is not enough, do you want the baby to starve every day?" I was speechless. From last night to this morning, the baby had nursed 4 times, and my mother-in-law had asked me the same question 4 times. "Are you not producing enough milk?" I refused her. "Mom, I really don't need to drink this." My mother-in-law's face immediately turned unpleasant. "I was watching the time last night. Every time the baby nurses, it takes 10 to 20 minutes. Isn't it because your milk is too little? And there's a 2-hour interval between each nursing. My grandson must have been hungry for a long time. Ching ching, you're a mother now. You can't do everything according to your own will. You must consider the baby. Just listen to me. Drink a bowl of this medicine every morning and evening from now on." Here she comes with her airs. I just smiled and didn't respond. My mother-in-law was unhappy and turned to my husband. "Xiaolin, tell me, is what Mom said right?" I pushed the bowl of dark cuisine in front of my husband. "Come on, you explain it to Mom." My husband said softly. "Mom, you really don't need to do this. It's not necessary." My mother-in-law's face darkened in dissatisfaction. "Xiaolin is a good boy. Don't let your wife act willfully. Look at how small her breasts are. How can her milk be enough?" TSK. She was getting impatient and blurted out her true thoughts. Considering her age and ignorance, I'll let this personal attack pass for now. I slapped my husband hard. He coughed twice. "The amount of milk has nothing to do with the size of the breasts. It depends on the distribution of mammary glands. Now the longer the baby nurses, the more it stimulates the secretion of breast milk. The more it eats, the more prolactin the mother's pituitary gland will secrete to meet the demand. And now scientific feeding is advocated. It's normal for the baby to be fully fed at one time, and then sleep for 2 or 3 hours. Feeding the baby without looking at the time, over and over again, will also burden the baby's stomach. It's even worse. The number of times the baby poops and pees is normal, which means it's getting enough to eat." By the end, my mother-in-law's mouth was half open for a long time, unable to say a word. I crossed my arms, very satisfied with my husband's summary. It was worth it that I had been instilling various childbirth and breastfeeding knowledge in him during my pregnancy and dragging him to lectures. After being refuted by her son's words, my mother-in-law still tried to be stubborn. "What do you young people know?" I cleared my throat. "Mom, anyway, I won't drink this. If you really think the baby isn't getting enough milk from me, it doesn't matter. We can switch to formula. Things are different now. Although breastfeeding is advocated, it's not necessary for the baby to drink breast milk. A can of formula costs a few hundred yuan. About 2,000 yuan a month should be enough. Let Xiaolin be diligent and wash the bottle 7 or 8 times a day. Also keep 40-degree warm water ready at night. After the baby drinks, the bottle should be washed immediately, otherwise, it's easy to breed bacteria. Our baby has never had formula before. We need to consider various problems in advance, such as getting angry, constipation, stomach discomfort, and if the taste doesn't suit, we need to change the formula." Listening to my words, my mother-in-law's face turned darker and darker. The lactation-promoting incident finally ended with my mother-in-law shutting up and admitting defeat. Later, whenever she dared to mumble while I was nursing, I immediately suggested, "Why don't we still switch to formula? There's a really good formula. It can cost more than 400 yuan. Let Xiaolin buy that one." My mother-in-law finally stopped, but I knew she must still be unconvinced in her heart. I always opposed her and didn't listen to her. She couldn't possibly be happy. My mother-in-law was determined to manipulate me in every way to show her status. In August, she didn't allow me to turn on the air conditioner in the bedroom. Ching ching, it's only in the 30s degrees. Turning on the air conditioner is not only a waste of electricity, but it might also freeze your baby. Fine, then no one turns it on. Mom, I'll turn off the air conditioners in your room and the living room too. I go in and out with the baby. It's easier for the baby to get sick if it gets cold, and then hot. In the end, it was her son who couldn't stand the heat first. He had a nosebleed. She never mentioned not turning on the air conditioner again. When we were having a meal at the table, the mother-son duo had stir-fried cured meat, braised pig's trotters and sauce-flavored pork knuckles, while in front of me were shredded potatoes, millet porridge and sliced steamed buns. Ching ching, the baby's poop was not normal yesterday. It must be a problem with your diet. Today just eat something simple. It's all starch. It looks like a lot but digests quickly and makes you hungry easily. I couldn't take it anymore. Without hesitation, I took out my phone and ordered KFC for myself. Mom, you're right. What you cooked might really be a problem. I'll eat takeout for 2 days and see. The two of them were very dissatisfied with my ordering takeout. My husband wanted to say something, but with one question. When are you going to work? He immediately shut up. After several rounds, my mother-in-law, who was determined to discipline me into submission, repeatedly hit a wall. She had only been here for a week, and her spirit visibly withered. The number of times she secretly complained about me to my husband also increased significantly. My mother-in-law was unhappy, and my big filial son husband was uncomfortable. He said to me, "Anyway, Mom means well. She came to take care of the baby and cook for us. She's quite hard working. Sometimes you should also be understanding of the elderly. Well, sensible husbands are all alike, but foolish husbands are foolish in their own ways. Who is not being understanding of whom? Does being old give one the right to be unreasonable?" On the surface, I agreed with him. Yes, I also think Mom has it hard. If it weren't for the fact that I'm still in the confinement period, I would definitely help her share. Well, let Mom go back. Anyway, you're here, right? My husband didn't say anything. After a long while, he said reluctantly again. Well, at least don't always keep her at home. My mom likes to go out and play. She's tired enough cooking and washing clothes for you. Can't she even go out to relax? All those annoying things my mother-in-law did hadn't really made me angry, but her husband's words really enraged me. I threw the thing in my hand right in his face and started cursing. Young Lin, have you eaten too much to the point of being stupid? Are you out of your mind? Your mom came to help. I should be grateful, but make it clear. Ultimately, she didn't come for me. She came for you, for her grandson. I'm a poor parent in confinement. I'm not supposed to do housework at all. If she doesn't do it, then you should. Tell me, who on earth is she cooking for and washing clothes for? Is the food only for me to eat? Does she only wash my clothes? She's restricted from going out. Is it because I made your dear mom do housework? Am I not suffering? I had a knife cut on my belly and risked half my life to give birth to the child. Aren't I suffering? You feel sorry for her. Why don't you do more? Why don't you tell her that she doesn't need to take care of the confinement? If you want your mom to go out and have fun, to relax, you can go tell her right now. My husband couldn't argue with me and left with a dark face. Soon, he came back shamefacedly and begged me to allow him to go out and look for a job in a few days. In front of his mom, he would say that he was going to work. A few days later, my husband pretended to go to work for half a day every day, but actually went to look for a job. And my mother-in-law, having received my husband's instructions, as if she had received an imperial edict, said to me righteously that she was going out to do square dancing. On the first day, she went out and did square dancing for 2 hours. I said nothing. On the second day, she went out and played mahjong for 3 hours. I still said nothing. On the third day, as soon as she went out, she called me. I came out to dance and met an old acquaintance. She invited me to her home to play. I really couldn't refuse. You can solve lunch by yourself today. Then she hung up the phone. I smiled. She really had a full day schedule. It didn't matter. I immediately spent money to find 2 people online. One was responsible for cooking and taking care of the baby, and the other came to my home to do postpartum repair and facial care for me. My day was also very fulfilling. When my mother-in-law came back, my care had just ended. I scanned the QR code to pay the 2 people in front of her. It was 2,500 yuan in total. The smile on my mother-in-law's face disappeared. After the people left, my mother-in-law asked me with a dark face, "Ching, Xiaolin doesn't earn money easily. How can you spend it so recklessly?" Mom, it wasn't easy for me to give birth either. What's wrong with spending a little money? And when I spend money, it's also like you spending money. My mother-in-law said, "What are you talking about? I didn't spend any money." I explained to her unhurriedly. Look, by spending money to hire people, someone cooks for me, someone takes care of the baby, and you also have time to relax. Isn't this equivalent to spending money to buy enjoyment for both of us? My mother-in-law was so angry that she almost jumped. What kind of fallacy is that? I just went out for a while, and you used my son's money like running water, ordering takeout whenever you want, hiring hourly workers whenever you want, and doing those useless things to your face. Zhao Qingqing, is this the way to live a life? Now you're at home giving birth and not earning a penny. All the expenses for food, drink, and daily necessities at home depend on my son. You're being wasteful and still think you're right. My mother-in-law shouted so loudly that she woke up the sleeping baby. I stared at her quietly. She glared at me. Which word I said is wrong? At this rate, you'll sooner or later squander all the money in the family. I smiled. Mom, if I were you, I wouldn't be angry. After all, even if you're angry, I'll still spend money if I want to. My mother-in-law was almost driven crazy by me. She pointed at me and said that she would teach me a lesson when her son came back. I turned around and entered the room, slamming the door hard. At dinner time, I didn't come out either. It didn't matter. I continued to order takeout. I was leisurely eating dinner and watching TV when my husband's second aunt suddenly sent 3 pictures in the Chen family group. I clicked in. Was this sent to the wrong place? What my second aunt sent turned out to be the chat records of my mother-in-law complaining about me. A person as tranquil as a chrysanthemum. Which woman doesn't suffer when giving birth? She's just being picky. A person as tranquil as a chrysanthemum, making my son busy around. If I hadn't come, how could my son handle it alone? Tell me, which family asks a grown man to wash diapers? A person as tranquil as a chrysanthemum. The air conditioner is set at more than 20 degrees, and she doesn't even cover the baby's feet. She's always nagging about scientific baby rearing every day. Nonsense. Who hasn't raised a child or taken care of a child? I raised our Xiaolin well, didn't I? A person as tranquil as a chrysanthemum. In the few days I've been here, she just eats, sleeps, or plays on her phone. After Xiaolin takes care of her, he goes to work. She doesn't show any consideration at all. She spends a man's money without feeling the slightest bit sorry. There were many similar complaints. It was obvious that my mother-in-law's dissatisfaction with me had reached its peak. A few minutes later, my second aunt sent an embarrassed expression in the group. Sorry, I can't take it back. More than a dozen people in the group didn't say a word. I replied with a message. It doesn't matter, second aunt. If it weren't for your slip-up, I wouldn't have known that mom had such a big opinion of me. At this time, my husband's second aunt spoke up. It's common for a family to have some friction. It's not a big deal. Don't let it hurt the harmony. Immediately others followed suit. Yes, sister-in-law is just straightforward. She says what she thinks. Ching, don't take it to heart. During confinement, the puerperas hormones are affected, and it's easy to be in a bad mood. Mom is also tired taking care of the confinement. We should understand each other. It's all for the child. Just talk it out and it'll be fine. Ching, your body is still recovering. Don't think too much. I replied, thank you all. I'm not angry. My mother-in-law and husband remained silent throughout. A dozen minutes later my husband called. As soon as I answered he shouted at me. Ching, what did my mom do to you? She said she cried in the bedroom alone for an afternoon. I questioned. She went out at 9 in the morning, and came back at 5 in the afternoon. Then she complained about me to second aunt. Does she still have time to cry? Don't avoid the main issue. Anyway, it's you who deliberately provoked my mom. Otherwise she wouldn't be like that. Like what? She's acting like a green tea. My husband on the other end of the phone was furious. What are you talking about? That's my mom. I said calmly. Yes, she's your mom, and you're her son. You two are the real family. I'm just a tool for your Chen family to have children. After giving birth, taking care of me during confinement, and showing me some respect. Isn't that what you as a husband, and she as the child's grandmother should do? Aren't you being too pushy? Did we not feed you, or give you something to drink? After the child was born, didn't I take care of you? When you were lying in bed, didn't I cook for you? How many men can't do any housework at all? That's enough. I nodded. You did take care of me. You cooked for me. But aren't these things you should have done in the first place? Just because you did them, you think you're amazing? After forming a family and having a child, does a man just need to do his part for a few minutes, and leave the rest to the woman? Also, don't bring out any trash to set off. You're not even a real man in my eyes. Then I hung up the phone. My mother-in-law rushed out of the room, her face red with anger. You're simply a tigress. My son earns money to support the family, and is the head of the family. Where do you get the nerve to shout at him? I gritted my teeth. Although I'm on maternity leave, the company is still paying me. If earning money to support the family makes one the head of the family, then I'm the one in charge of this family now. My mother-in-law frowned. What nonsense are you talking about? Your parents are no longer alive. Besides relying on our family, relying on my son, what else can you do? How can you have the nerve to say that you're in charge of this family? My face darkened, and I looked at my mother-in-law without speaking. She put her hands on her hips and scolded me. Isn't it? It's just that my son is kind-hearted and has been tolerating you all this time. I sneered. After finishing my meal, I wiped my mouth, got up, walked around my mother-in-law, and returned to the room. I calmly took my ID, breast pump, and a few clothes, then carried a small bag and went out under my mother-in-law's astonished gaze. When my mother-in-law chased after me, I just entered the elevator. The baby will need to be fed soon. There's breast milk I pumped in the fridge. I also bought the milk bottles a few days ago. Oh, remember to ask your son to buy formula. The milk in the fridge is enough for at most 2 days. Only then did my mother-in-law realize that I was going to leave home. She was shocked. Zhao Qingqing, are you crazy? You're leaving the child behind. I'm not crazy. Even if you all are crazy, I won't be. I found a hotel with a good environment and quality, and opened a room. I took a bath, watched TV, and ate barbecue. It was wonderful. That night, my husband and mother-in-law called and messaged me like crazy, basically accusing me of being irresponsible and leaving the child behind. I didn't answer the calls. I sent a WeChat message to my husband. You're kidding me. Is the child only mine? You can go out whenever you want, but I can't. When the child is hungry, feed it. When it cries, soothe it. Are your hands or feet broken? But you're the child's biological mother. So what if the biological mother goes out to have fun? Is it illegal? Zhao Qingqing, you're really heartless. The child is suffering because of your irresponsibility. Don't talk nonsense. I find it disgusting. I retorted. The child is in your care now. The child is suffering because of your irresponsibility. I ignored him and turned my phone to silent, having a good sleep. The next day when I woke up, there were countless messages on my phone. The Chen family group was also very lively. There's no overnight feud in a family. Which mother doesn't love her child? To make Qingqing so angry that she left home. Anyway, it's you, Xiaolin, as the husband, who didn't do a good job. Hurry up and be soft with Ching, apologized to her. Ching is straightforward, but a sensible and good-hearted girl. My husband sent me more than a dozen long messages, but without exception, they were all blaming me. There was no sign of being soft or apologizing. The last sentence he sent me was, "Let's see how long you can be so stubborn." My mother-in-law was in perfect sync. "If you have the guts, never come back." Everything was as I expected. These mother-son duo didn't think they were wrong at all. Even if Chen Zhihui really apologized to me at this moment, it was just to get me to go back and take care of the child, not really empathizing with me. I invited my best friend to have Western food and watch a movie, having a wonderful day. She asked me what my plan was. I smiled and said, "If you're not busy, come with me to meet the lawyer." 3 days after leaving home, my husband finally couldn't stand it anymore. His tone softened as he begged me to go back. I called him an idiot. When I was at home, the mother-son duo thought everything was due to them, and that I was just a lazy person who only knew how to eat. Only when I was not at home, did they realize that breastfeeding was the most convenient. It didn't require two people to be in a rush to make milk powder and wash the milk bottle every time. They realized that they could sleep well at night, because I was there. I got up 3 or 4 times a night to nurse the baby, so the baby could fall asleep quickly, soundly, and not cry. They realized that they could have a peaceful meal every time, because I was soothing the baby, and the baby gave them a quiet dining opportunity. Ching, I was wrong. I shouldn't have been so harsh that day. Where are you? Let me come and pick you up, okay? Yonglin, what you're wrong about is not your attitude. It's that deep in your bones. You don't have the respect you should have for your wife who gave birth to a child for you. That's why your mom could be so unscrupulous and persistent in disgusting me again and again. Yonglin took a deep breath. I've talked to my mom. She promises that she won't be like that again when you come back. Can we both take a step back? Take a step back? I haven't done anything excessive. Why should I? I refused directly. Yonglin, I've already contacted a lawyer. I'll send you the divorce agreement later. The post-marital property will be divided equally, and the child will be with me. You'll pay alimony every month. Yonglin shouted on the phone. You want to divorce me? Zhao Ching, are you going too far? I've already apologized to you. What else do you want? No matter what my mom did, could she have any bad intentions? Don't show the lower limit of your IQ in front of me. Whether to apologize depends on whether you really realize your mistake, not because you're giving me face or a way out. I want to divorce you, because I found that the two of us are not suitable. I've lost my vision and confidence in raising a child and managing a family with you in the future. However, you always blame it on surface reasons like mother-in-law and daughter-in-law conflicts. Finally, I'll give you a piece of advice. The disharmony between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law is due to the husband's inaction. The root cause is you. The lawyer helped me draw up the divorce agreement, and I sent it to Yonglin. He shouted that he wouldn't sign it. I said it was okay to go through litigation for divorce. My mother-in-law didn't expect that I would dare to propose divorce to her excellent son. She called me in a rage. Zhao Ching, you're just being supported by my son. Those skincare products and cosmetics are not cheap at all. You spend money so recklessly. After divorce, are you going to let the child starve with you? You'll definitely regret divorcing my son. Don't think I don't know what you're up to. If you play the threat game too much, be careful of your own downfall. I smiled. Even now, she still naively thought that I was just throwing a tantrum. I really didn't know whether she was too confident in her son or thought too little of me. At this point, I thought I didn't need to help her son hide it anymore. 3 months before I gave birth, he lost his job. His salary wasn't much in the first place. His salary was used to pay the mortgage, and my salary was used for daily expenses. We shared the expenses for the child. Do you think I took advantage of him? My mother-in-law shouted at me. You're lying. Xiaolin goes to work every day. What job loss? He's almost 35. It's awkward to find a job at this age. I wish him to find a job as soon as possible. After all, after we divorce, he still has to pay alimony for the child. After hanging up the phone, I sent a message in the Chen family group. Thank you, dear relatives, for your concern. No matter what my relationship with Yonglin will be in the future, I will still regard you as elders and friends. I wish you all the best. Then I left the group. Only then did my mother-in-law really understand that I was really going to divorce her son. She panicked. Some people are so mean-spirited. They think that once you give birth to a child and become a mother, everything you do is taken for granted. If you say you're tired, you're being picky. Anything the child's father does is an extra effort and worthy of great praise and glorification. Your protests, complaints, and negativity are not only useless, but also become reasons for them to attack you again. If you're a pushover, you can only be so angry that you die. My mother-in-law and husband called the police overnight and found me at the hotel where I was staying. My mother-in-law held the child and said to me with an embarrassed look, Ching, it was all mom's fault before. It's not easy for you and Xiaolin to be together. Now you even have a child. You can't divorce so easily. The child misses you so much these days you're not at home. You must be reluctant to part with the child, right? Yonglin also lowered his stance. Ching, I've discussed with my mom. Let's hire someone to help. This way, everyone will be relaxed. I promise I won't lose my temper with you anymore. I also promise that I will find a new job as soon as possible. I didn't have the time to figure out whether their words were sincere or not, because I had already made up my mind. No need. We can either meet at the marriage registration office or in court. Seeing that I was unmoved, my mother-in-law finally couldn't pretend anymore. Her eyes turned fierce. Both my son and I have apologized to you. What else do you want? This heartless woman deserves to be divorced. Son, divorce her. But my precious grandson in the Chen family, you don't even think about taking him away. After saying that, she hugged the child tightly, as if I would snatch him immediately. I directly opened the door to see them out. Being stubborn is just deceiving oneself, and is of no use. Oh, you don't know. Your son must be clear that in a divorce during lactation, the child will definitely be awarded to the mother. That's why I dared to leave home without taking the child. I don't need to argue with him for a momentary victory. My mother-in-law couldn't hold it in anymore. The moment she broke down and got angry, I closed the door. Outside, there was a burst of wailing. What a sin. How could we have such a daughter-in-law? It's a misfortune for our family. Having no other options, my mother-in-law posted a circle of friends accusing me, scolding me for deliberately going against her, scolding me for being heartless, and scolding me for being unworthy of being a mother. Before I could say anything, people jumped out one by one to speak for me. Sister-in-law, you should also reflect on your own problems. This is not the old society anymore. There's no need to show off in front of your daughter-in-law. The old-fashioned idea that a daughter-in-law should be obedient is no longer applicable. Although we're relatives, I have to stand by Qingqing on this matter. She's not the kind of person who acts willfully. Has Xiaolin agreed to the divorce? I'm reluctant to part with Sister Qing. She had hoped to get support, but unexpectedly was deserted by everyone. Soon, she deleted the circle of friends, pretending that nothing had happened. The lawyer called me. Miss Zhao, the court session is the day after tomorrow. Please get ready. Okay. Only after giving birth did I really recognize this family. But it doesn't matter. I'm not short of the courage and confidence to start anew. I hope you are too. The end.